Lord and Master. You may call me Dark Side.
Hey Bemmers, before we get started, I got a quick public service announcement. Don't go outside without an umbrella today. Animal Man's been trick-or-treating, and all that chocolate's giving him the Hershey squirts. It's Darkside's Couch, and this is James.
This is Mike.
I don't like it. This is Shée.
Yeah. I thought it was funny. I liked it.
I want to alienate Shée as quickly as possible to set the tone.
It's fine. Animals can have Hershey squirts.
I mean, if anyone should. If any sentient creature should, it should be a chimera monster.
I used to work at a horse stable, and I was telling a friend of mine that horses aren't meant to be at one place.
Yeah.
Like they're meant to constantly be moving, grazing and moving.
Yeah. Horses love moving.
Right, but like, because their bathroom needs are like not meant for stationary places.
Yeah, it's really stinky, so they want to get away from it.
It's just they have so much of it. There's just so much. It's meant to be, them in herds running across America, leaving all that shit behind.
No, as Bart said,
not in your stable.
As Bart Simpson said, maybe if they didn't eat so much, they wouldn't have so much poop.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they were eating constantly.
That was the last time Mike had anything stable in his life. I make that joke every time. Every time Mike mentions the horse stable, I go, shit, I get to make that joke again.
Mm-hmm.
Are we all good?
One of my many jobs.
Shée, are you already despondent about this?
Shée doesn't go to the bathroom. Her asshole was stitched up by doctors.
It is going to be a butt-centric episode. I'll say that right.
Not credited doctors.
Well,
doctors that lost their licenses due to alcoholism.
Yeah.
Shée wanted the illegal procedure to have her asshole stitched up.
Yep.
You weren't thinking long-term with that one, Shée.
Nope.
That was a short-term solution.
Nope. One meal away, already a problem.
No, I really didn't think this through.
Now, one giant hard turd busting through them stitches.
All right, now even I'm kind of sick of it.
And she has one end of the stitches. She's just yanking it back tight like a shoelace, trying to close it back up.
Yeah, I think we made this. Like Spawn's face. Yeah, that shoelace in his face they had to hold together.
Oh yeah, who put that shoelace in his face? Yeah, who did that?
He found it in the street. Actually, I think it was one of his, because he was like the back alley Jesus, and the various hobos were his apostles, and one of his apostles got like a shoelace and strung them together, strung his hamburger face together.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. Depending on the continuity that you prefer, his face was got that slit down the middle, either from an encounter with the actual magician, the ghost of the magician Harry Houdini, or a battering that Batman threw at him, depending on whether or not you want to, because the Houdini issue of Spawn came out, and that was canonical around the same time that the Batman crossover came out, which can't be canonical because Batman's not part of the Image Comics, and so they both kind of ended in the same way, with Spawn getting his face split open, and so you can pick your continuity there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I think
all roads lead to Rome.
When Spawn was asked, like, who did this? What happened to your face? He just said, just some asshole with a cape, which would apply to both of those guys. So that was pretty fun. Dealing with problems. There's Todd McFarlane solving problems.
That's how he'll be remembered.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a problem solver. Getting that Spawn movie out any day now. Any day now. It's happening. It's definitely happening this year. So, well, that's very Halloween-y. Spawn. Spawn is a Halloween-y character. We've never looked at Spawn. We've talked about Spawn a few times. Very fitting for Halloween, but we can't do it this Halloween because we got requests for our Asktober.
Mm-hmm.
More like Asktober, right, Shée?
Mm-hmm.
More butt talk?
The stitches.
Yeah, talking about butts. Talking about butts and stitches. Stitching up them butts. We got another one of we've had a bunch of birdie anti-heroes. We had Nighthawk, we had Darkhawk, we had Man-Bat, and now we got Animal Man. Right? This comes to us from Born Too Late. It's Born Too Late's birthday.
Nice spinning playlist.
Thank you, which we are still using when we spin the wheel because A, I'm too lazy to go find more spinning songs, and B, nobody else is sending us spinning songs lately. We were getting a bunch of them for a while, and we burned through like all of them, and I still got this spinning playlist. But there's that'll be for later. Yeah, it's Born Too Late's birthday. Happy birthday, Born Too Late.
I think it was last month, but we're just now getting to it.
Is it really? I don't know that he... Well,
save it for next year.
Yeah, you can put it in your pocket.
Well, I had to explain to people because people were like, "Hey, it's my birthday next week." I'm like, "Our shows are recorded weeks, like weeks ago. Like you're gonna get it when you get it."
Kind of. But yeah, he requested this book. This is Animal Man number 71 from 1994, and he requested this a while ago. But I think we decided to finally get it. He finally made an official request for his birthday, which we cannot refuse. And luckily, it timed out for October because October is our spooky month, and we wanted to do some spooky comics, and it's certainly horrific. I don't know if
we've done a lot of like the anthology horror books,
which are great.
They're great, but it's nice that we're just doing something just horrific for a whole new reason.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Out of season horrific was cool.
Yeah,
even though it was in season. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, Animal Man here. It's a Vertigo book. It's suggested for mature readers, but don't anybody tell anyone that we looked at this. So
Not mature.
Yeah. And if you've never seen Animal Man before, or if you've only seen the classic Animal Man, he normally is just a dude in a spandex suit with a visor, and he can absorb animal powers.
Not to be confused with Wannabeast.
Wannabeast is or Vixen for that matter, although they are related and they all did hang out and interact early in the Animal Man run. But by this point in this Animal Man run, which was relaunched by Grant Morrison in late 80s, early 90s, and who wrote the first 28 or so issues, and then after that, it kind of went on a crazy roller coaster ride till it ended up with Animal Man rebirthing himself as an horrific hybrid chimera because fuck it, and declaring war against humanity.
Yeah, that definitely came across.
Yeah.
But it turns out all that was just a big old whoopsie.
You mean from this issue where he kind of the point where he regrets what he's doing and realizes he's being an idiot?
Whoopsies.
Yeah.
Well, sorry about that. Yeah, he is kind of a moron. He especially in this book, we'll see that he's very righteous. But he's at the end of the day, he's kind of an idiot on this.
Man,
but,
he goes full chimera Karen.
Yes, he does. Oh boy, does he ever!
Yeah. Anyway, I was going to say something about the end, but I should say it at the end.
Does it have anything to do with butts?
Nope.
Okay.
Or horses? Or sheep?
Nope.
Like they're horses or sheep?
I forgot all about that until a listener brought it up to me. And I was like, I forgot all about that bit.
You know, I appreciate a listener heard that because to find that, I went through and watched hours of Rudy Giuliani's video podcast to find, so I'm saying something especially, that isn't something that somebody put on their blog or something like that. That is something that I went out and dug through and listened to his podcast at 2x speed so I could find something funny.
Damn.
Yeah, so you're welcome for that.
I thought we found that while trying to make a tag.
It may have been part of a tag. You were telling me something like you couldn't find anything funny from Rudy Giuliani. I'm like, dude, there's hours of him saying goofy shit. I'm sure I can find something. And I made it my mission one weekend to just dig through as much stuff as I could until I could find the funniest 3 seconds of him. And that may have been it. That may have been it.
100% that was it.
He was selling cigars and stuff on that podcast. He would take a break to talk about cigars.
Wasn't Trump selling steaks too at the same time?
I think he might still be. I think they still might be a thing. I'm sure.
Trump steaks and Giuliani cigars. Better than Clinton cigars.
Yeah. A little sticky. They get a little sticky. I wonder what animal the Trump steaks are even made out of because it damn sure ain't what it's supposed to be.
Maybe that's what Animal Man's all mad about.
Yeah,
that might be horse.
He had a Trump steak.
Trump steaks are made from Animal Man griffins.
Oh my goodness. Animal Man. Yeah, we did look at Animal Man once when he fought the mod gorilla boss, who is a gorilla in a fedora.
Oh, I remember the mod gorilla.
Did you guys ever see a comedy about, I think it was called Sorry to Bother You, and it was
that's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good
it was
movie.
about African American call center people trying to sell stuff, and he has a white voice, but then he ends up doing cocaine and turns into a horse.
Yep.
There's some real shit in that. And actually, I saw that movie because Shea's younger brother, Charles, hey Charles, he showed it to us one Christmas, I think. We all sat around. That was like our Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He was like, can we watch my favorite movie? And we were like, sure.
That's a great favorite movie.
Yeah. Base Charles' decision.
My favorite movies are dumb. That's actually
his other favorite movie is Citizen Kane. So he's got some highbrow.
No, Citizen Kane is a great film.
Citizen Kane's boring and overrated.
No,
it's not. Citizen Kane is no Aquaman 2.
It's no.
I don't know. My favorite movie might be Forgetting Sarah Marshall. So
Shée.
no, you know what it would be? It would be either Clue or Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I fixed
All
it.
right, redeemable.
Well, you're all ruining. You're giving people the impression that Sorry to Bother You is shit and stupid. It's
No,
No,
it's
no,
brilliant.
it's so good.
It's brilliant.
It's a very good movie. It's weird as shit, but it's also very topical. It's got a lot of good racial stuff in there, in the positive way, in the progressive way. It's a really good movie. Go check that movie out.
Mm-hmm.
I briefly met the director of that movie.
Oh, yeah?
I
And
was
you
on a
kissed?
show. Yeah, I think I put a microphone on him or something.
Oh, sweet.
Okay, so this is Animal Man number 71. The year was 1994. Book called The Sermon on the Monument, written by Jamie Delano, art by Russ Braun and Steve Poole. I read this entire run a few years ago, the entire 90 or so issues of it. This is... I'll show you what happens after this issue when we get to the end of this issue, but this is not as crazy as it gets.
He goes on the Great Animal Man apology tour after this one.
He did apologize. He did talk to Jesse Jackson.
I could see it, yeah.
Does he talk to Jesse Jackson?
He talked to Jesse Jackson. He asked to apologize. Jesse Jackson made him kiss his butt.
Made him
Jesse
kiss
Jackson asked for $100,000, and then he said, "You're forgiven."
No. I'll show you when we get to that point. It's actually this is pretty nuts. Well, you also got to remember Jamie Delano is mainly known for writing the big first chunk of Hellblazer, and really kind of defining who that character would be.
Ooh, I like that comic.
it. Which one's
Yeah,
Hellblazer?
Constantine.
Nah,
Oh, thank you.
Constantine, depends on what you like to say.
Before
Thank
they made
you.
him a lady.
Yeah, Lady Constantine.
He's a lady now. Constantine's a
so-
lady now.
Got a problem with that. They woke Constantine.
They picked that pretty girl from Doctor Who to play Constantine.
That means nothing to me.
Yeah.
You didn't watch Doctor Who? It was good for a while.
I was never much of a Doctor Who guy, but
Just
yeah,
went on
whatever.
too long.
Yeah, things go on.
It's like they had a lot of these, all right, we're canceled endings, and then they're just like, nope. Hire a woman.
I think bring a woman in, make her wrestle with her sexuality. That's what we like to see in these woke times.
That's right,
I
on
don't
our
know.
BBC shows. Wrestling with sexuality on the BBC.
I've never seen a full Doctor Who episode, but somehow I landed on the ending of one, and some female politician had just blown up aliens. And he was like,
Okay.
They were like good people. They weren't going to attack us. What are you doing? And she's like, well, I have to defend my country and my world. I don't remember if she was president of the world or president
Oh, yeah,
of
you
like
do.
something. Or maybe she was prime. Anyway, it doesn't matter. She was a politician in charge. And so David Tennant, who was the doctor at that time, just gets in her face and is like, I can destroy your career in 4 words.
Okay, what are those 4 words?
And she's like, no. And he just walks away, and then to one of her male aides leans in and whispers, doesn't she look tired?
Wow, that's a
And
lady
then-
joke.
Yeah, and then it just unfurls all of her, and she gets voted out and gets, I think she
Finally,
goes
using
crazy.
sexism for good.
Yeah, that's what
the,
he did.
Only the doctor.
Woke politics. That's what I tell you.
That's my impression of it, the show so far.
Ah, great
Okay.
based. The most based impression of
So
the
far,
show.
yeah, petty as shit. I love it. Let's burn it.
Yeah, well, she did commit a space genocide.
Yeah.
Like, I think he could use sexism to take her down.
Oh, yeah,
after
we were the
genocide.
baddies. No, we were the baddies.
Yep. If the aliens come to our world, we
me.
gotta accept them. They have just every right to live here that we do.
Don't say we. I'm on Team Doctor Who.
We gotta let them in. I gotta let them all in. Open borders to space aliens.
That guy's always right. That guy always, even when he seems like he's wrong, by the end of the episode, he's right. Like,
just
I'm not gonna
yeah.
turn against Doctor Who. That's so dumb.
He's sci-fi Larry David.
Bro.
Always right. He says the stuff that we're all afraid to say.
Is Larry David the most based character on television, do you
He
think?
is pretty based.
I can't think of anyone more based.
He does whatever he needs to do. He's almost always right.
That character, the Larry David character, I came into that show very late because a friend of mine said, have you ever seen Curb Your Enthusiasm? And I'm like, no. He goes, the main character is you, bro. And he showed me an episode, and I made him pause it because I had that exact same scenario happen to me, and I responded the exact same way. What's his name? Larry David did.
Do you remember what the scenario was?
Did you open a fake coffee bar?
He was stealing flowers from a
Okay.
cemetery to give to
Yeah.
his wife.
Yeah.
They're dead anyway.
Anyway,
he just kept
what's
doing
the
it,
difference?
and he ended up taking the flowers from like Super Dave's mom.
Yeah.
Super Dave was on the show. I forgot
Well, yeah,
about that.
it was
Like,
Super
God
Dave
goddamn.
is Albert Brooks's brother, I think.
It's Funkhauser. R.I.P. Funkhauser. Mm-hmm. Okay. We should look at this now. DC Vertigo Animal Man number 71. All right.
I was at that age when you stop reading superhero books, and then all of a sudden everything you buy is like Vertigo books. And I remember distinctly in my life when that happened.
Yeah, it is a point where you're too mature for superheroes,
But
you
not
want
mature
something
enough
a
to
little-
get laid.
No, I'm not going to read real books. What
Not
do
a
you got in the
girl,
middle?
not yet a woman.
I'm not going to get good at sports in order to be a sexually viable male at that age.
Too late to jock it up. That's true. Yeah.
Too busy jacking it up.
It's very interesting for me as we do this, honestly, because I got into comics so late, so late compared to you guys. And so I didn't know a lot of this existed until far further in my life.
What is your impression of Vertigo Comics? DC's Vertigo imprint.
I mean, I guess in my brain, when I first thought of it, I was like, oh, these are the adult comics. Like there's DC comics and then there's the adult comics, the Vertigo comics.
Read the intrusive thoughts that Garth Ennis feels the need to share with all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where DC said, we want to publish this, but we don't want our name on it. So what can we do here?
Marvel did that for a while with Max. That was like their
Yeah,
Vertigo.
it's not the same thing.
They
That's not
had
the same
less
thing.
like mega hits. Like they had less, but what they did have, like they had some crazy stuff.
Vertigo also had a lot of Vertigo was also generally creator owned at the time, and part of the reason that Vertigo ended up kind of whittling down was because some jackass came into Warner Brothers and said, well, hang on, we don't want them to have the creator rights, because then we can't make movies and TV shows at will. And so they basically changed that whole contract, and then everyone was like, well, I don't want to bring my product to Vertigo because I want to retain control of it, and that kind of killed Vertigo. So thank you, you fucking dipshit.
They made another Watchmen show.
Well, they made Watchmen on HBO, which was really good.
No, there's
good.
another one now, a new one.
What?
There's an animated
There's
version.
an animated one.
Well,
Yeah,
but it's just an animated adaptation of
I know, but it's like now I'm starting to see things a little in Alan Moore's perspective. It's like, okay, like
Well,
now you're
Alan,
beating it to death.
Alan Moore was also given the opportunity to retain all the Watchmen rights if he wrote one more story in that universe, which he was already considering doing.
Yeah, I know, but then they bring it up, and he's like, what? If they want it, it can't be a good idea. Based Alan Moore.
Yeah, that's the most.
I'm
base decision.
most definitely on Team Alan Moore. Like he is extreme for sure. He like his anti-corporation, anti-capitalistic beliefs are intense. Where
Well,
he's cutting off his own nose to spite his face.
Well, he also said in recent years, he said a year or two ago that there is no one creative in the comic book industry anymore. And I'm sorry, bro, you're one of the greats, but fuck off, dude. Fuck off.
I've read
with
some
that.
really
Yeah,
great
that's
comic books in the last
ridiculous.
few years.
Yeah, he's just. Dude, I've always said, and I will maintain, Alan Moore is probably one of the nicest guys you can meet, as long as you're talking about like tea and window decorations and things, and lighthearted, very English things. But if you talk about politics or if you talk about comic books, it's gonna get ugly.
I want to go meet Alan Moore and show up in a MAGA hat just to hear him yell at me for like an hour.
I mean, at least it
Yeah,
seems like he
cast a
has a
spell.
good sense of humor in some way, because he did that Simpsons episode.
Yeah, he's on Simpsons. He poked some fun at the Watchmen thing on Simpsons. He's whatever. He's one of the goats. He gets a little bit of.
Oh, I
credit.
thought he
gets-
was poking fun at like Daredevil.
I don't know.
You liked it when I made the character a drug-addled
Oh.
da.
Well, there was also a joke about Watchmen babies.
Yes,
yeah.
Watchmen babies.
No,
That's what he
which
want.
one of
That's
the
what
babies is your
Milhouse wanted
favorite?
him to sign.
Yeah, which one of the babies is your favorite?
Maybe.
Yeah, they made Daredevil a jazz
Watchmen
critic, I believe.
babies.
Alan Moore made Daredevil a jazz critic, or whoever it was, Superman. But I don't know who it was. But anyway. Yeah, Vertigo actually didn't exist when this Animal Man run started, and it's weird because if you read the pre-Vertigo issues, it's clearly set in the wider DCU. Superman shows up, Martian Manhunter shows up. There's a lot of discussion about him trying to get into the Justice League because he needs to feed his family and everything like that. And then it got really weird. They created Vertigo, they shut it off to Vertigo, and at this point, clearly there are no other superheroes in this universe. So it
Yeah.
just kind of shifted with time.
They did that with Punisher with the Max comics, where they just kind of pulled him out.
sure.
And pretended
you
that
know.
all the other stuff wasn't real.
What are you gonna do? You gotta do what you gotta do to keep that paper.
No,
pushing,
it was
you know?
better. It was better for it. Like sometimes it is. Like I've been reading up on this Superman movie they're gonna make, and like they're just throwing
Can't
everybody
wait.
in this movie.
Well, a lot of it's rumors, but yeah, we do have reason to believe that Crypto's in there, that they're gonna tee up
All right.
Supergirl.
This movie better be silly. Could
I
there be a
think-
Batman koala book like movie?
Who did you tell
think-
me was cast?
What do you mean? Oh,
Alan Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk just was. Yeah, they revealed he was cast in a mystery role. Probably, I'm gonna guess a voice role because he's already Dr. Phosphorus in Creature Commandos, and generally people aren't gonna have two physical roles that they'd be playing in the DC.
Who cares? Play two
Well,
physical roles.
Because,
Fuck
well,
it.
'cause I care because there's 1,000 different qualified actors for each and every one of these roles. So
Save
let's-
money.
No. But I do think that there will be a little bit of silly. I think it's going to be a bit of everything. I think it's a bit of silliness. It's going to be a bit of seriousness. It's going to be a bit of everything. I do think you're going to get a good wide view of all the different shades of Superman in this movie. I do think that's part of the intention. Yes. You get a little silly, a little koala.
If he actually is the voice of Skeets, because that was one that you threw out as an idea,
I don't think so. No.
That means jacking off.
I'll straight up fucking
I
cry
th-
tears of joy.
They're
I
not
think
calling
he's.
him Skeets. They're not going to call him.
Well,
they're
no.
gonna
Well,
they'll come up with a new name.
they're not going to change Booster Gold's assistant's name.
They're not calling him Skeets on a
They
movie.
will. I will lay $500 on it right now.
Like
that
the
when
memes.
that Booster Gold show comes out, he will 100% be called Skeets. Absolutely. I think T-Lex seems more likely Superman's robot assistant, but we'll see. But yeah, looking forward to that. Can't wait. All right. Animal Man. So we open up, and Animal Man has already transformed into this horrific chimera monster. He's a bird griffin. He's got like goat legs, giant wings, beak, horns, the whole thing. He looks badass. He looks great. And he's soaring through the city. He's heading to Washington, D.C., and he's talking about the red. And the red is one of the elemental forces of the DC universe. Like Swamp Thing represents the green, and the red is the sort of like invisible ecosystem of animals that binds them all together, right? Like
Wouldn't
universal
humans be in the
consciousness.
red? Be in the red too? They're animals.
I don't. You think they would be? I think they're technically in the red, but since humans have divorced themselves so much, they don't really connect with it. Because we'll see in this, both Animal Man and his daughter Maxine are very connected to the red, despite being human. So
Most
think
people I know are in the red.
Yeah. Oh boy. with Bidenomics, absolutely. Jesus.
We still on Biden? He's not really the president right now.
Yeah,
is
he's
he? What is
just kind of
he?
coasting.
Like,
He's coming
is
to a slow
he-
stop.
Like, is he making decisions? Who's making decisions right now?
He's rolling to a slow stop.
They won't
Make
let him
sure-
talk on TV. Like
They
and now he's
won't.
like, but run the
It's-
country though.
It's best that he not. It's best that he not.
That's
Get registered.
insane. This is an insane time.
Make sure you're registered. By the way, guys.
Unprecedented times, y'all.
They're more like unprecedented because he's not there.
yeah. So like I don't know. Harris is already doing it, right? Already
Yeah,
doing the job.
get registered. Get registered, especially if you are in
Hell
a
no.
if you are in a swing state. Or well, because the thing is, even if you don't care about the presidential election, there's plenty of down ballot stuff. There's plenty of local and state stuff, and that shit gets decided on by dozens of votes sometimes. So that can make a difference. So even if you don't vote for president or you're writing something goofy, look at your local stuff. Look at your city stuff. There's definitely relevant stuff in there, and make sure you're registered because they're playing games.
And usually someone in your city has written a guide to all of the judges, all of the aldermen, etc. So you don't have to actually do all that fucking research, so long as you would trust that source.
Well, yeah, but you can go to Ballotopedia. Is it Ballotpedia or Ballotopedia? And they have all of the state and local ballots, so you can at least get all the names that are going to be on the ballots. Get a dry run on your ballot experience. All right. Page 1. So yeah, he's flying through. Yeah, and I do think humans are connected to the red. They have a very tenuous connection because they've drank so much Coca-Cola over the years. You know.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, it'll do
that
it.
will.
Dude, I just had a rusty wrench that I got all the rust off by cutting open the top of a Coke bottle and letting it sit there overnight.
I thought a rusty wrench was either a drink, like an alcoholic drink, or a sex act.
Oh, yeah, me too.
A literal
Yourself a
rusty wrench.
You got yourself a rusty wrench. All right, so Animal Man is an horrific monster.
Yeah, but he's got abs like Ricochet.
You know what? I literally made that same comment in my head that he's got Ricochet-esque abs in that he has way more than any living creature I've ever seen.
Did you almost say human?
If anyone doesn't
Almost,
know,
yeah.
Ricochet is a pro wrestler with 1,000 abs.
Too many. I'll say it. Too many abs.
Does he have more abs than eyes of the last comic book villain?
Yeah, I would say.
He has got. It's weird how he looks. It looks like he's got like he's got other muscles removed so that he could have more abs implanted. It's weird.
It's crazy.
Can you do that?
No, no.
I mean, not yet. But
can they implant human muscles? Like, no. Will they stick like weird?
Well, no, I'd figure it would
plastic
be
coverings in your stomach.
Like what you do
Silicone.
for like breast implants and stuff.
God,
and they do
people shouldn't be doing
butts.
that.
So
people, yeah. But thanks for bringing it back around to butts, Shée. This is a very butt heavy episode. Yeah, Animal Man has, I'm going to say, at least a dozen abs. He looks great. Very lean. Very
kind of grotesque, but also very stoic in a way.
Still fuckable. Fuckable.
Oh, someone would fuck him. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
There'd be human women. There would be thousands. Out of the billions of humans, there would be at least thousands of women who'd be willing to have sex with Griffin Animal Man.
And we're going to meet one of them in a few pages. So Animal Man lands on the Washington Monument, which I've been inside. Nice. And he's surveying the landscape, and he's judging humanity.
So he's like a Griffin Man. So he's got like black bird wings and a bird head, but you see he has like a little rat tail.
Yeah, he's a little bit of everything.
yeah.
He's got a little tail, like maybe it's almost like a simian tail, maybe, I don't know.
Is that to let us know he's like crafty like a rat?
I don't think he's that crafty. He's honestly kind of a dunce,
I mean, he is making rash decisions throughout this whole book.
and he's easily dissuaded from them too.
He also the entire time he talks in this book, the dialogue in the book is inner monologue, right?
Much of it.
It comes off like you're reading Rorschach's journal with the way that he phrases things and talks about the darkness. It also really reminded me of Swamp Thing when he starts getting more attached to the green. And I was going to ask if A, they were trying to emulate Morrison or anything, or B, if this eventually tied into the green.
Emulate Morrison's early Animal Man, or do you mean Moore's Swamp Thing?
Morrison's Swamp Thing. Or like, were they trying to go for that kind of like Swamp Thing gritty vibe? I guess that wasn't Morrison, but anyway, that's what I mean.
More. I don't know. I think at this
Alan
point,
Moore, sorry.
At this point, Swamp Thing and Watchmen were kind of the bellwether for like serious comics. Like that was the template. So I think inadvertently you're going to emulate those, whether you mean to or not, simply based on, those were the touchstones. That's how you wrote a serious comic in those days. You also got to keep in mind at this point in the story, his young daughter Maxine, he believes she's dead. So he's having a freak out. And worth noting, in the earlier issues in the Morrison part of this Animal Man run, his entire family was murdered. All right? His entire family was murdered. He put on like a Venom-esque black costume and got super dark about it. And then at the end of... Well, except he was still human. But it was a whole commentary that Morrison was writing about like violence in comics and all that kind of stuff. And at the end of that run, spoiler, Animal Man goes to Grant Morrison's house, talks to him. Animal Man tells Morrison, well, if you're my writer, why can't you just write my family back? And he goes, well, no, I can't do that. That'd be unrealistic. People would have my head on a plate for that. I can't do that. And then Animal Man gradually kind of just convinces him that maybe it's time to just be nice. And so he just goes home and his family's just alive again, and it's never addressed. It's super weird meta stuff.
That's great. I like that.
It's an incredible run. It's really, really, really good. So anyway, so he is overlooking Washington, D.C., and he's going to swoop down in front of the Capitol building, and he's going to make a huge announcement soon. And then we see the cool splash page. We've got him in like a purple silhouette, and behind him are all the rats and the ants and the cockroaches and the buggies and the birds who are flocking to him. Looks pretty great.
They all love him.
They do love him, and as well as they should. So after that, we flash over to the house where I believe... So at this point, Animal Man has kind of like a cadre of people that have kind of been starting to amass around him, and eventually it become like a full-on cult that follows him around. But at this point, it's his family. It's a woman that he's fucking who's not his wife.
Is he fucking her as the Griffin?
Daughter.
Yeah, he is.
I believe they did fuck after he had griffined himself.
Although we don't see his dick. He's naked throughout this book, and we just never really see what he's working with there.
Well, lots of animals have retractable penises.
Oh, yeah, but that wouldn't be one of those powers I would absorb.
I hope it's not barbed.
Yeah, right. I bet his eyesight's really good and he hears really well, but it's like then he's looking at the list of animal things he can adapt, and he's just like, retractable penis. Ooh.
I believe so. At this point, Animal Man had died as well, and he kind of rebirthed himself, and he sort of remapped his own existence by consuming the fingers of his corpse. I believe he ate a little bit of his corpse so that he could kind of like rebuild himself, but still ended up being a horrific monster. Mm-hmm. And I guess his daughter Maxine is alive, little girl, little adorable girl, and she wakes up, and she apparently has had some sort of adventure. She is connected to the Red. She doesn't really understand what that means, but she knows she's connected to animals and she's connected to her dad, and she can sense this. And in her mind, it's this weird sort of like mystical playground that she's been hanging out in. Right?
I like to hang out in mystical playgrounds.
So she was like Alice in Wonderlanding it,
AKA mushrooms.
Yep, and got your name on a couple of lists there, hanging around those playgrounds. And so she wakes up.
Like we told you, quit eating mushrooms and hanging around the playgrounds in the middle of the night. You're scaring the hell out of the neighbors.
Never. That's a hard line in the sand. I'm not stopping.
What?
In her flashback to how she, the last thing Maxine remembers before she woke up, we see her family, her brother Cliff, her older brother Cliff, who is the 90s. This kid, this little fucking
hard.
He is Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
I wonder if there's any more Cliffs.
There's Cliff Steele, Robot Man.
No, I mean like in modern day today. It's not a popular name anymore.
Cliff Clavin, maybe the last one.
Yeah, but that was the 80s.
Do I know a Cliff? Well, into the 90s.
How many Cliffords do you know? That's what Cliff is short for.
Big Red Dog.
Clifford the Big Red Dog, of course.
Yeah, but that's not a name of a boy.
He's kind of the patron saint of Cliffs.
Who the hell? I don't know anyone named
Look up
Cliff.
famous cliffs and then see what comes up that isn't an actual cliff.
That's what I'm going to say. It's going to be geography mainly.
Oh,
famous
yeah, then say
people
Clifford.
named Cliff. Cliff Williams, no. Cliff Curtis, Cliff DeYoung. I don't know any of these people. Who are these
they're
assholes?
all a bunch of old Cliffs.
Cliff Burton. Well, dead now.
Yeah, he
R.I.P.
He was born in 1962.
Yeah. Let's see where that got you, being named Cliff.
Mm-hmm.
Man, yeah, that's the only one of these guys I recognize. Cliff Burton Shée was the bassist for Metallica, and then their tour van fell on him. Mm-hmm. They managed to lift the van off of him, and then it slipped from their hands and re-crushed him.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Their singer / guitar player James Hetfield once walked into his own pyrotechnics and almost burnt himself to death.
Burned off half his body. Yeah. They never got over his death, and so they've treated their bassists like shit ever since.
Yeah, well, not the
new guy, not the latest guy. Yeah,
no, he looks like Jason Momoa.
He won't put up with it. Yeah, he won't put up with
he's
it.
this
But Jason
giant
Newsted,
man,
dude.
Yeah.
Then after Cliff, they hired Jason Newsted, the nicest, most enthusiastic, happiest guy in the world. He loved Metallica so much that he wore Metallica shirts on stage because he just loved the band so much. And the rest of the band never stopped shitting on him, and he stayed in the band for like 16 years anyway.
Well, you're in Metallica.
I think he just loved that music so much. I think he just loved that band so much they put up with their bullshit.
I think the first album they brought him in, and the album they recorded together, they turned down his bass so you couldn't even hear it.
Yeah.
It's like, why would they even do that?
Well, there's conflicting theories. Some of it is like, they were just angry and they were resentful to anyone replacing Cliff, even though they hired him. Some people have said that what it really was each of the other members of the band would go into the studio and say, hey, man, turn me up a little bit, turn me up. And Jason was the only one not doing that. So everybody just got progressively louder and louder and louder trying to fight for space, except for Jason, who didn't do that. And so he just ended up barely being in the mix.
Yeah, but the producer's just like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Yes, the producer's like, I don't give a shit. The check cleared. Fine. No bass. I don't care.
He probably just kept smoking after nudging up a, dial.
Point is, don't be named Cliff.
Yep.
Avoid it if you can.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying change their name then, if they already are a Cliff. If you're a modern Cliff, let us know.
Yeah, let us know if you're. Yeah, this podcast attract a lot of Cliffs. Let us know.
Yeah, if we have a Cliff listening, I want you to hit us up and tell us if you've had any really deep tragedies in your life because you were named Cliff.
Yeah, tell us about your life. Send a request.
Tell us your great victories as well. Maybe being a Cliff isn't so bad.
Maybe we're wrong. Skewed perspective. We don't know. Tell us about being a Cliff. All right, so then we come back to the modern day. Maxine is walking around trying to figure out where her parents are, what's going on, where is everybody. So then she walks in on the hussy that her dad's been sleeping with on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Annie. And Annie is a
Annie
free
fucks.
spirit. Annie fucks. She is definitely the kind of woman I would have been into as a kid.
She's like, I don't care that you're a married man.
She's doing that 90s thing where her shirt's, the neck hole of her shirt is a little wide, so you see that bra strap, you know?
Mm-hmm.
She's that kind of lady. She's smoking.
Yeah, she's like,
Asymmetrical haircut.
I bet she has like Carrie Fisher's voice, but when she was an old lady.
Oh, super raspy. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And both her mom and her daughter are involved with this caravan, too. So she's kind of ruminating. Annie's kind of ruminating about having sex with Buddy. Buddy Baker, Animal Man's real name.
Yeah.
Sort of the animalistic version of the sex they have. And at this point, Animal Man's wife, Ellen, doesn't know that they had sex, but eventually she finds out, and Animal Man's excuse is just, hey, what do you want from me? I'm an animal. And everybody just had to like learn to accept this. Like, yeah, that makes logical sense. You are an animal man. You're gonna fuck random people. It's just the way it's gonna be. Like,
And
what
she was
an
just
out
like,
this
that's
guy.
rational. I'll go
Not
make
all
dinner.
animals do that though.
Well, in fairness, Shée, part of the reason is, as we'll see, she's hanging out with a group of militant lesbians, and she was having her own sexual awakening, so she was half out the door anyway.
All right.
Ah.
This is a complicated family. This is things are a little tough.
You think like it's like not all animals like will just have sex indiscriminately.
No, penguins
Like,
won't. Penguins are monogamous.
But like if he's picking and choosing the best things about animals, you know, to make himself better, like what he doesn't have to. I think he just like wanted to fuck other people and just made that up.
It's an incredible out.
Like I'm an animal. What do you want from me? But
You're
it's
going
like,
against nature.
Yeah,
What
it's the
about-
same
what
thing
penguins
about
and
like
lobsters and shit.
it's the same thing about when like dudes try to open up their marriage 10 years in.
Yeah,
Always
yeah.
the lady. It's never the dude. I mean, it might be.
Never the dude try and open up the marriage 10 years in. I don't know about that.
I don't know. If he does, he's gonna regret it.
I
like,
will say
immediately.
I've seen those Reddit posts where guys say like, "Hey man, I tried to save my marriage by opening it up, but unfortunately, my wife's got dates every night of the week, and I can't get anything."
Nope.
Yeah, you better be attractive if you're gonna try to open that up.
Yeah. Oh, you better be you better not be like, you better be really attractive to pull that off.
Yeah. That is a high earning. You got to have at least a half a Ricochet's worth of abs.
That's
if
his
you're
thing.
gonna
Is
pull that
like his wife can go out and meet up with dudes who don't give a shit that she's married. Like he's gonna meet these women. And he's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm married."
No, I
like
don't
already,
feel-
like that's
I
a
don't feel
huge
good about
handicap.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that, fellas. That's a bad idea. Just get divorced. Save yourself the heartache. Like,
Or just look super good. Just
Yeah,
look super good.
right.
No, it's not gonna fix you. It's not gonna save your marriage.
No,
that's
nothing
already
will.
done. Nothing will.
yeah.
But stay together for the tax breaks. Who cares? All right. So anyway, as she's kind of lamenting and everything, she sees they break in on the news, and this lady, this newscaster, is at the Capitol building, and she's reporting that birds are spiraling around. They're showing up. Some weird shit's about to go down. Right?
Yeah. Because Animal Man sat on top of Washington, D.C., related it all to body, like sexual things, and then called rats and birds.
Yeah. Well, it's like an antenna. He's up there. He's pulling them all in. Yeah, and he's calling all of the various varmints to come to Washington, D.C. And as Annie's watching, yeah.
And he's being watched by his girlfriend and his daughter, who he doesn't know is still alive. And she turns to the little girl and goes, you see that right there? You see that guy? That's your dad there. I sucked that gross animal dick.
Sucked it. It was barbed. It hurt. It cut up my mouth.
Oh, God.
I didn't care. It was worth it.
Oh, God. It stinks.
His poop isn't matted into his fur.
Dude. Like, I guess
It's
like
gross.
a lot of animal poop is like valuable, right? So that's a business he has right now.
Some of it.
Like he can command animals and he can take the form of an animal. So like, yeah, he could just like produce his own fertilizer and sell it. Animal Man brand fertilizer.
What a good business model. This is this is what I mean. This is the dumbest possible way of going about his independence.
If he controls the sheep, he can shear a bunch of sheep, or he turn himself into a sheep and just shear himself every day.
Controls the sheep. Are we talking about the Democrats again?
Or
Boy.
sheep.
I love when it comes up.
Like their horses or sheep?
Thank you, Rudy. He is ruined, by the way. He is going down in flames hard.
Well, he's already
Oh, yeah.
like a super old man, right?
Yeah, he's pretty old, but also
Like-
his reputation, his family's
So what?
reputation.
So what?
Well, some people care about their family.
Rudy
and their
Giuliani
legacy.
doesn't give a shit about anything.
That's true. He is in it for himself.
Bro, yeah, no, he won. He got his money. It
He's
worked
got a
out.
little no, he's under a bunch of lawsuits. Like
So
they're
what? He'll be
ripping him
dead
apart.
before they get all of his money. He'll just like not pay anyone until he dies.
He'll just die. Yeah, he'll just die. That's a
He's like
strategy.
90 years old. Like, how much longer is he gonna live?
I don't know. I mean, some of these guys hang on, man.
We'll never forget him.
We'll never get a mayor of New York. America's mayor.
Dude, he's America's mayor, and he ended up being a total dirtbag, which makes sense if you're America's mayor.
I mean, Eric Adams is pushing
Eric
hard
Adams,
to
you're
join
gone.
him.
You're gone. All you motherfuckers are gone. I don't know, man.
To be replaced by new motherfuckers.
Rudy Giuliani played a critical role in giving us the Four Seasons Thrill landscaping debacle, the funniest moment in American history.
May have also
So-
killed all the homeless people in New
Yeah,
York
man.
at one point.
R.I.P. homeless people. He cleaned it up.
That's a conspiracy theory, though.
Yeah, no, he cleaned it up. Got the mobs out, cleaned it up. All right. So yeah, the birds are flocking around. They're tipping over the news van and all. It's getting
How the
it's getting
birds are
chaotic.
doing that, who knows?
Actually, they're not. That's just a Dutch angle on the panel. They didn't actually do it. That's just me making it add a little spice, to the story. Then we we see a shot of Animal Man, and they identify that, oh my God, that's the dude. That's that Animal Man guy. He's freaked out. He's gone nuts. He's off his bean, and he's calling all these animals here to Washington D.C.
To vote.
to vote. They want to vote. Yep, we got to let the animals vote now too. We're just going to let everything vote.
They're like, animals, the only way to change the system is through voting.
You know, if you can just get like the spiders on your side, you're going to win every election. You don't need every animal. Like you don't need the horses. Fuck
Mosquitoes,
horses.
dude.
You get mosquitoes, you get ants, you get spiders, you get any of those. Like it's done.
Yeah. Termites.
Termites.
Well, he
any of those
mentions
insects.
termites.
He's got rats and birds. Or viruses.
He mentions
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah, he does.
Are the viruses going to be able to vote? See, this is
No, yeah,
how do you
right.
accommodate that? How do you accommodate the virus voting?
Votes are
That's fu-
one vote
that's
per
funny, 'cause usually-
person, and these things aren't people.
So that'd be the viruses voting for the parasites.
Oh, it's topical. It's topical. Make sure you're registered. So then we flash over and we see that who else is watching this whole thing unfold is Ellen, Buddy's wife, who is kind of estranged from him right now. And she is hanging out with a group of militant lesbians called the Sisters Without Mercy. Mm-hmm. And they are a cliche batch. There is the butch, like GI lady. And then there is the nebbish librarian lady. And then there is the token black lady. Mm-hmm. That's the group that they made here. This is how representation looked in the 90s. It's not the best.
It's what it looks like now too.
It kind of, well, yeah, it hasn't evolved a lot, but this is a little dated. It is a
Burger
little
King
cliche.
Kids Club, yeah.
It's a little Burger King Kids Club for sure.
Someone
And,
once tried to compliment me by comparing me to his favorite Burger King Kids Club character.
Who was the favorite Burger King Kids Club member?
I don't remember. I don't really remember the different ones, but he compared me to one of them, and I was like, "You have a favorite?"
They probably had a comic book. We'll put that on the wheel.
It was an adult.
Yeah,
It was an
I
adult
still
man who
remember.
said that to me. Who I don't know.
Talk about a whole group of guys named Cliff. Look at
I
these
want to be
guys.
Kid Vid. I want to be that guy, the guy addicted
So-
to the internet. Look at
So,
him.
yes, this is also very nice. Speaking of dated things, we've got a kid in a wheelchair named Wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord. A sassy, sporty girl named Boomer.
Yep.
Uh,
And now
we've
she
got-
actually is one.
We've got the token black person they put in, Jaws.
Yep.
We've got the token Asian man kid, Lingo.
Jaws. You think they call him that because he sucks dick really well?
Well, he's 12, so I'd like to not comment
No,
on that.
he's not.
There's JD the dog. Yes, he is. What are you talking about? They're
Not
all kids.
12.
It's the Burger King Kids Club.
I know. They're all 18, though.
Oh, okay. All right. Fine. They're right on the
So
cusp.
one of the dog is wearing a helmet. Like, what kind of accidents is this dog getting into on a regular basis? If they
dog
hit,
needs
it
to be
has to wear
protected.
maybe a
No, he's
wheels is kind
extreme. He's going to go on adventures.
Maybe
He's
he
extreme
got
with no E at the beginning.
maybe he got into a bad accident with Wheels before he was Wheels, and that's why he wears a helmet now, and Wheels can't walk.
I feel like
Wheels
there's a
refuses
joke
to
in
wear
here
helmet.
with the dog being named JD and JD Vance talking about eating animals and stuff, but I can't think of it.
Eating
So-
ass is what I thought you were going to say.
Oh,
JD
you know-
Vance out there talking about eating ass. I'm like, oh, wow, really?
Well,
Nice.
it's possible because by the time you hear this episode, the vice presidential debate will have happened. So there'll be a fresh round of memes. If you're getting sick of the old ones, there'll be a fresh round.
Who did Harris pick?
Tim Walz.
Tim, who the
Former,
fuck is that guy?
He's the governor of Minnesota.
Who cares?
I made a whole joke about this when it happened because, Mike, you had wanted Jesse Ventura, also governor of
too old.
Minnesota. Well,
Too
what I'm
old.
saying, my point is the Democrats did pick a governor of Minnesota, just not the one you wanted.
Nah, they're not going to be Jesse Ventura. Who'd want to be governor after that guy?
I mean, well, Tim Walz for one.
Did Ventura like go for Trump yet? Is he a Trump guy yet? All those
I don't
guys
think
who
he's-
used to be
he-
socialists
yeah.
in the early aughts now are all voting for Trump and whatnot. So
That
I'm
guy
waiting for
better
him.
be in the dead center. Yeah. I don't know. So, but yeah, then there's the dog JD, the nerdy kid IQ, the hot girl Snaps, and
She's not hot. She's
the
12.
video and the video game obsessed kid Vid.
I want to be Kid Vid.
Kid Vid has got to be pissing the rest of these guys off because
Yeah.
he clearly is trying to like make his weird visor work and get him on the internet, and it's just a mess.
He is the Steve Urkel of this
Yeah.
Family Matters of a show where like
He's trying to be so cool.
it's just like now he's going to be everyone's favorite and he's going to get all the the scripts are all going to be written about him.
Yeah, he's pushing it too hard. His
Dude, they
cringe is
fired
showing.
2 children to make more room for Urkel.
2? I know they got rid of
Get rid of a few of the
girl.
children.
Yeah, I
Few
know
of
they
those
got
kids
rid of
just vanished. I think they got
one.
rid of the aunt. They got rid of there's like a daughter and then the aunt's son. All 3 of those characters are just gone. Make room for Urkel.
the daughter that went upstairs and never came down. She did eventually get into adult films, but then she got her life straightened out, and apparently she's doing fine now. So
All right, well.
So, yeah, they're explaining to Ellen, the very militant woman in this group is explaining to her, like, yeah, the government's probably going to kill your husband, by the way, just
100%.
so you know, FYI. And this is like just dawning on her that, oh, yeah, shit, they probably will, actually.
Why? Because he spoke out against COVID.
Well, he's also threatening to destroy the world and kill all humans. So I kind of,
He goes, I will make a COVID so bad.
Yeah, let's see you try.
Not even Pfizer can put out a vaccine quick enough.
So in Washington, D.C., animals are everywhere. Little insects and beasts and creepy creatures are all over. They're crawling up people. They're getting right up their butts. And
Luckily, not Shea's, though. Hers is stitched shut.
Woo!
With some
Shée is
fishing
fine.
line.
She's the
Shée
only
is also an advanced fisherman.
Yeah, she's the only one without a bug up her butt right now.
I'm
And a
special.
And we'll get you a helmet.
All right.
And
Boo. Boo.
That was so good.
yeah.
Thank you for saying the joke I wanted to earlier.
So yeah, the animals are going nuts, and a worm crawls into RFK Jr.'s brain. That's how he got that.
That's how it happened.
That's what it was.
Man.
Yeah,
He came out for Trump, didn't he?
he suspended his campaign, joined Trump, but then still wanted to stay on the ballot in certain states to act as a spoiler candidate, even though he's not running a campaign. What a fucking
Spoiling
dick.
for who?
Well, spoiling because he's going to potentially draw a few votes away from Harris, so he wants to stay on
Really?
in certain states. Well, not a ton, but a few.
Oh,
So he wants to stay on as a spoiler candidate, even though he's not running a campaign anymore. Get fucked.
soon we'll do our election episode. That's
What
what,
a
we're doing.
scumbag.
We're so close.
Yeah. Well, let's see what the wheel decides,
That's so close.
So then
I mean, keep in mind November's coming up. Like pretty soon we're just going to have to do it.
well, I mean, I assume we were going to wheel for it. We're going to spin the wheel.
yeah.
I don't know. We got to
Try.
figure that out. We'll have to figure that out. What do you guys want to see? How do you guys want to handle this? But listeners, not Mike, but listeners. So anyway. So then we see, Annie, which is Anolan's girlfriend, and her daughter, her mom, Cliff, Maxine, they're all there. And they're all watching this unfold.
Yep. And then the youngest daughter smoked some DMT.
She is having the time of her life over there.
I think he got high as fuck on DMT.
You sure did, Joe Rogan.
It looks like she's seeing red blood cells.
Yeah, that's the kind of the representation of the red. And
Which
so
doesn't
she-
include humans.
Well,
so where's the
again,
cutoff? Like, is it just like it's bonobo apes are in the red, but not
Right.
humans?
We just discussed this. I just don't think you like the answer. Humans are in the red, but since they are so disconnected from the world and nature, they can't access it very well. With
I
exceptions
blame
like
Kid
Maxine.
Vid.
Yeah, Kid Vid strapping on a virtual reality helmet in 1994. Of course. What'd you think was going to happen? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, they're TikTok. He's the original TikToker.
I wonder how his eyes are now.
Oh, his eyes are burned out of his skull. It was way too early for that technology. He could not handle it.
That was like the virtual boy.
Yeah.
The fucking
that piece
red
of
light
trash.
burning
That
into your brain.
Piece of trash. Oh my god. That you had to like get down on your elbows like you were a military sniper and look
hold
through
it up.
Weird as shit. I don't know. Who thought that was going to
I didn't have a virtual boy.
I didn't either. I didn't have a Nintendo.
No.
That's what went wrong. But yeah, she's connected to the red. She's reaching out to her dad. She's trying to get a hold of him, but he just doesn't want to listen, right?
Yep. Because he's a
So-
man.
Man, he's got a mission, and he is dug in on this stupid plot of his.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, we see that Animal Man, he dives down at the camera that's broadcasting his report, like he's gonna attack the newscaster lady, and the TV goes dark, and it all goes off. And then they get the signal back up, and it turns that, no, he was just diving down because he wants to make a statement. Never a good idea when an idiot tries to make a statement.
Yep.
Nope.
I was going to lie about doing steroids.
Yes. They mainly
Never
just wanna
call
ask about
your
that.
own press conference.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He shows up at Four Seasons Total Landscaping and wants to make a press conference. So they talk to him and they say, like, all right, so you're Animal Man, right? He goes, well, not really anymore. Now I'm not even partially human. I'm a complete animal. And when I had to bury my daughter, I lost all shred of my humanity. And you know what? Good fucking riddance. That's what he says. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the reporter asks, like, how did your daughter die? How did she die? And he says, well, you all killed her, you and your stupid fucking government and your Clinton super predator legislation. You killed her.
And then while he's saying that, his anger and rage has all the birds shit on everybody.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, they're going for it. And there's lice and roaches crawling in everybody's hair. It's pandemonium.
Mm-hmm. It's like living in a major city.
No actual pandas, though, in this pandemonium.
Nope.
Yeah, this is every day on the L in Chicago.
Ugh.
It's
Not that dirty.
It's not so bad. I don't know. Yeah.
The city is legit falling apart.
People have been saying that for decades. Like, it's hard to keep a city.
Like the CTA is never on time, ever.
You know,
like, it's
people
so bad now.
Both you and Shea say that all the time, and I don't take the CTA all that often, but when I do, it's usually pretty reliable for me. So I don't know if I've just been really lucky or if
I
you
think you've
guys
been
are
really
just-
lucky. I always have problems now.
I didn't have problems like this pre-COVID.
I do
It
think
all
that
started post-COVID.
I will say that since COVID, not only CTA, I'm sure you're right about that, but just driving in general, I can't fucking get anywhere. It's like there are twice as many cars and they removed some lanes. I don't know what the fuck happened. I can't get anywhere.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, this is what the Revelations was talking about.
You know,
And the
that's
rent's
probably
too
what it is.
high and the sun's too bright.
The rent's too damn high. The sun is too bright. I mean, seriously, who are you trying to impress? It doesn't
And I'll be
need to
dead in the
like
ground before I recognize the state of Missouri.
that. Yeah, fuck Missouri.
It's a wonderful
bad
place.
place.
Kansas City.
I love that Grandpa Simpson had a problem with Missouri of all states. It's not
Yeah.
even a new state. It's not even Alaska or Hawaii.
Yeah, I wonder what the background for that was.
I think it's just I think it's just how out of touch Grandpa Simpson is. That's how much of a right wing dipshit he is. That like he has a problem with Missouri of all places.
What state do you have a problem with? Michigan? Yeah.
Well, I got a problem. I got a problem with the Lower Peninsula of Michigan. Indiana, I've been sort of hot and cold on. Florida's a shithole.
I disagree.
Florida, every time I go to Florida, I enjoy it for a little bit because of the weather, and then I remember everything else about Florida.
I like all that other stuff though. I like it.
all the Ron DeSantis posters.
I like the wacky characters of Florida. I like those
Yeah.
people.
I don't want to live among them. I want to read about them on X.
I don't know how I feel about it.
Live
I don't know if I want to. I don't think I'm meant to be one of them.
Yeah, you were trending that way. I gotta say. The
They're
signs are
they're always doing whatever they feel like doing, despite the law.
there. Yeah, walking around in white pants, playing shuffleboard, just being shitty.
Oh, being shitty.
Yeah. just Larry Daviding it all over the place.
Yeah.
So,
Mike, you just need to move into a retirement community.
honestly, like, why not? Like,
Well, 'cause you're
are there
underage.
laws? Well, are there laws that you have to be of a certain age? Wasn't
It's
that
not
an
a
Arrested
law, but
Development plot?
It's not a law.
Yeah.
I think
ought
it's
to be a
whenever,
law.
I think it's just like if you want to pay. You just gotta
Yeah, it's
pay
just-
the nursing home.
Yeah, I think
rent.
the idea is that most people
No,
who
I'm-
aren't retirement age wouldn't want it, so that's why. But you
Was there a
could.
Seinfeld about
I'm
that?
talking about
Kramer?
retirement communities as in with houses and a subdivision and stuff, not like a nursing home or
I'm gonna go. I'm
retirement
gonna
home.
buy a house in a retirement community, and then I'm gonna just start throwing huge rager parties so all
Yeah,
the old
shit.
people just hate me for moving in.
Well, what I've said, I might have even said this on the podcast before, is they should start building retirement communities, theme them based on things that old people like old Andy Griffith's show, like make it like make the
Oh,
entire
my
community
dad,
like Mayberry.
My dad would love to live in Mayberry,
I'm
Mayberry
telling
town.
you, this is a great idea. They could feel like they live in the town of whatever TV show or movie that they liked from their time.
Yeah, I second that. I think
It's a great idea.
Yeah, I agree. My dad
thank
would love Mayberry. He would
Send
love
them
it.
off, ship them off to Mayberry. Yeah, make it a lot easier to get rid of these guys.
He'll
a little
forget
more
me
elbow
over
room
time.
for us.
He'll just think he's always been at Mayberry.
Yes, the reality and fiction kind of blur together. Yeah. So anyway, so she's talking to Animal Man. She's like, "What are you going to close on America?" He goes, "America will do for a start." All right. He's got eyes on the entire world, shutting down the entire planet. He's also still got human style teeth and a human style jaw inside his giant beak.
Well, he still needs to talk.
Yeah, I guess if they would have given him like a bird mouth, he wouldn't have vocal skills.
But he
Yeah,
also
there's
doesn't
this
have
human
like
part.
lips. Yeah, he just doesn't have any human left in him, but he has a human mouth to speak with.
Well,
he
maybe
does
it's
say
like an,
he does say my humanity died. He doesn't say
Right.
like physically necessarily. There's no human part.
I think he's full of shit.
Well, we're gonna
Well,
see that.
yeah. He's not gonna be full of shit for long. He's unloading.
He's being fucking emo. I've burned away my humanity. Sadness.
pretty good. They're not taking him that seriously. either,
No,
by
because
the
he's an
way.
animal man. He's a bitch.
It's kind of
Even though he's calling plagues.
yeah. So
Whatever, no one cares. No one cares about your plagues, animal man. Every time there's a plague, I get government checks.
one of them Trump checks.
That's
Can't wait.
right. Money printer goes brr whenever
It
there's a
absolutely
plague,
does.
so I can
It-
stay at home.
Absolutely does. They really should start letting us print our own money at home.
Yeah, put
Save-
your own
save
money
Like
at
stamps.
Yeah, just let us print our own.
Money.com.
Just let us do it. Money.com.
home. Yeah, some Mike bucks. Isn't that what crypto is, though? In a way,
You can make your own. Like I've seen podcasts make their own crypto. Like you can
Yeah.
make anybody can make their own crypto. Yeah.
I wonder why. Well, then, why
Yeah.
isn't any of it worth anything at all? If you could just
Why
make
is
your own?
anything worth anything?
I don't
Like
know.
because we decide as a group that something is worth more than something else. That's
It
all.
seems like everyone has this understanding, right? That the finances and
Oh, boy.
currencies are just made
gonna-
up.
it's gonna be this.
Everyone knows this, and yet we're all still going along with it.
Well, we need, in theory, when it works at its base level, it's supposed to be a representation of value, so that we can transfer that value and transfer skills and use and labor, and I don't know. But we never do it. We always corrupt it, and it gets goofy and it gets wiggy and weird. But
Just keep working on the AI so we can take over the government.
I actually had Gemini AI, Google's AI, write jokes about this episode or about this comic book. I didn't get anything too great. I did try to steer it into bathroom humor a little bit, but I didn't get anything too great. I got like, let's see here. Let me scroll down here. I wonder if Animal Man ever regrets channeling certain animals in the bathroom. Oh, definitely. I bet he wishes he could take back the time he channeled a cow. The methane situation was apparently utterly unbearable. Let's see.
That was a good joke.
I heard Animal Man had to call a plumber the other day. What happened? He was channeling a squid and got a little carried away with the ink. Let's just say the bathroom looked like an abstract art exhibit.
All right, now the first one was better.
They're not great. Like, but I mean, it
First
generated
one had a
like,
pun.
It generated like hundreds of them. Oh, I've got even one specific about this episode that said like, let's see. Animal Man's gone full eco-terrorist. I guess he's finally figured out how to get people to recycle.
Yeah. Didn't
But
the NPR just come out with a story saying that recycling isn't real?
I think that's probably something you'd like to believe. It's probably
No, I mean, I just listened to it where like the state of California is suing one of the oil companies for saying you could recycle plastic, and turns out you can't.
I would have to do some more research on this. I don't know. This seems
Did you
like
hear
an
this on Rogan?
No, it was on the NPR. I just said it was an NPR story.
Oh, you did. You did say it was on NPR.
Joe Rogan is now an NPR correspondent, though.
Yeah.
He's
Spotify now owns NPR.
That's why I listened to it. I wouldn't listen to NPR if Joe Rogan wasn't there.
Joe Rogan's political affiliations just go with the wind. He's hard
We're gonna
right.
hear
He's hard
fucking
left.
Terry Gross talking about DMT soon.
Yeah, he should.
Oh yeah, Terry Gross. I would love to give Terry Gross some DMT.
Well, speaking of gross things, let's get back to this comic. And so anyway, yeah, we see that as Animal Man is ranting about this. There's a strike crew, a government strike crew that are loading up weapons, getting ready to attack them. And they're talking. Animal Man's talking about the viruses that they're going to unleash and all the the mass extermination that's coming.
I'm gonna give you guys something called COVID.
Yeah, it's going to take a couple decades, but believe me, you're gonna be sorry.
You're gonna be real sorry about that when you can't get your hair did.
You're gonna be sad that you kicked around Animal Man. And so
reopen the salons. Remember that
That
lady in Michigan who was like complaining about her roots.
No, we had our mayor tell us to stay in, don't get haircuts, and then she got her own haircut. And then when we called her out on it, she said, "Well, I wanted to have a haircut, and I'm the mayor, and I deserve it."
Yeah, well, at least she was honest.
Yeah, and then she got her ass booted out, and then she blamed us. She called us all bigots for booting her out after that. She said it was because she was a gay black woman, and that's why we couldn't handle her.
The mayors of the city are always bad.
It was pretty impressive that she didn't even make the primaries. She didn't even make it through the primaries. That's how much we wanted her out.
Nobody wanted her anymore. What a hypocrite. What a fucking liar. You're gonna weaponize
every single Chicago mayor.
Weaponize we're already in Chicago. There's a lot of racial tension. Maybe don't have the fucking mayor weaponize it for her own political gain.
Well, it wasn't her gain. It was just her middle finger out the door.
Nah, she was trying to save face a little bit. I don't know. Fuck Lori Lightfoot.
There ain't no saving that face. Hey.
We don't need to pick up people's appearances now.
That's true.
We don't need to do that.
Only if they're short men.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, short men. I mean, listen. Somebody's got to be at the bottom of the stack here.
Dude, who'd have thought it would? And
what about redheads? Are you guys giving up on redheads too?
Dude, if you're I think short is worse than redhead at this point.
Ooh, boy.
It's a close one though.
I'm proud of your growth.
Short redheads. Ouch.
There are plenty of beautiful redheaded women, but my redheaded brothers, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Genetic lottery and whatnot.
Can't happen. Can't work out.
Short redhead with a little penis.
Yeah, with a little one. Little tiny boy.
Oof.
Little tiny Halloweeny.
Oof.
All right. So, yeah, we flash back. We see Buddy's family. They're thinking about this. And Cliff says, well, maybe the reason that you can't connect with Dad is because he still thinks you're dead. So maybe we got to get on the horn with him. Give him a phone call, right?
You try calling his cell phone?
In which they do. And they interrupt Animal Man's posing routine. Look at this, what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's got a whole fucking thing. Which way is the gym? Is it over this way? I thought it was kind of back over here, and he's flexing. And so they give him a cell phone, and Cliff goes, "Hey, man, you were being such a dipshit on the TV that you probably didn't realize that your daughter's not dead, and she's trying to call you."
Wait, is Cliff his son?
Cliff is his son, yes.
So, like, he was going to wipe out humanity, who includes his son, because his daughter died? This is how Cliff learns who's the favorite child.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cliff is not a beloved child. They actually had a lot of tension earlier on in this run because Animal Man decided they needed to be vegetarian. The family needed to be vegetarian, and Cliff really wanted to eat burgers. So he was like sneaking hamburgers behind the house and everything. And eventually they had to kind of just relent and go, you know what? You're going to have to let him eat fucking hamburgers.
Wait a minute.
Doesn't people vegetarian.
But animals eat meat.
This was back when this was pre-chimera days where he was just a dude. And so he was trying to, be environmentally friendly. He was thinking humans don't need to, other animals need to eat meat. Humans don't need to eat other animals, was his justification. So, whatever. But now as a horrific monster, he can eat anything he wants. And still have those abs.
Lots of ass.
Yeah. He eats mostly ass because he's a millennial.
I'm a millennial. I'm not eating ass.
Yeah, I don't know many people who are really eating ass.
No one's doing any of that stuff.
No, it's like I know a couple people. I'm just saying I don't know
Nobody's
many
doing that
people.
stuff. You mean you
People
know a couple liars? That's what you know.
I don't know, man. They weren't exactly proud of it. They just kind of confessed that they've been eating ass,
Yeah, no, they're not.
eating a little ass here and there. No.
Let us know. Let us know in the chat. Let us know in the
Cliff.
comments of the various things if you're a Cliff and you eat ass.
Cliff, how's your life been going? Have you been eating ass, and how do you think it's affected your overall success or failure in life? Mm-hmm. So we have a funny panel of animal man attempting to hold a phone.
We're gonna get a Cliff who's just like, my name's Cliff. I'm eating ass, and my life is going great.
I'm eating ass as I type this. Please, Cliff. Please prove us wrong. Prove us wrong. That's your October surprise right there. Make sure you're registered. Anyway, yeah. Then there's a nice, funny panel of Animal Man trying to hold a cell phone. Great, love it. Another. That's you know what? That might be my new phone wallpaper. That looks good.
Hello. She's
of him saying Maxine.
that's like this where he's just like, I will destroy humanity with the worst viruses ever conceived. Animal Man, we have a phone call for you. It doesn't matter. Phone calls are for humans. I will destroy you all. He says it's your son. Oh.
I guess I'll talk to him.
Hello. I see.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Oh.
Animal Man his eyes just start darting around,
Yeah,
realizing
well, you
what's
can't see
happened.
because they're just green orbs. so
Yeah,
you
because he
can't-
doesn't have pupils, so
It's
he's
a camouflage.
So they can't
that we
see
don't-
it, but he's
that way
doing
we,
it.
That way we can't see if his eyes are darting back and forth.
Oh boy.
It's
He
an
just
evolutionary
went, "Fuck."
adaptation to prevent people from knowing if Animal Man is embarrassed.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why animals don't get embarrassed like humans.
Yes, they do. I've seen dogs like eat it and then like look around like, did anyone see that?
Nobody saw that, right? So Ellen is watching this whole thing unfold, and this is how she learns that Maxine might still be alive. Right?
Right, she's a bad parent.
Yeah.
A lot of bad parents in this book.
She was in
Yeah.
jail earlier in the run as well. Like,
Jeez.
this family is a mess.
You abandoned your family to go live with these lesbians.
No wonder Grandma has the kids. Jesus.
Yeah. Well,
right.
wait till you see what I show you.
Grandma
happens
and
later in the
Animal
run.
Man's girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
who's this other bitch that was in there?
I don't know. Animal Man is Dave Grohl as fuck.
He's still a nice guy.
I mean, who cares, right? Yeah, get your dick wet, Dave Grohl. I don't care.
I guess I don't. The Dave Grohl thing, I honestly
Have all the
wonder-
kids.
Yeah, I honestly wonder if maybe they had an open marriage, but
Nah,
this was
I
an
bet this is a
accident.
gimmick. This is a work.
It's not a. He's not gonna
Yeah,
fake
it
the
is.
existence of a
He
child.
he found out that we all saw him as America's dad, and he was like, "Well, fuck that! I'm Dave Grohl. I'm a rock star."
Well, geez, Dave, if you do this, it's really gonna hurt us professionally and financially.
He's like, "Tell everyone I impregnated
My
this
family
lady."
will leave you. You know, your family will
It's
leave.
gonna be bad. Like
I
we're
don't
gonna
think he
have to
actually
like,
did any of this.
we're gonna have to shut down the tour all just to make yourself look more manly. You're gonna cost us all of this.
Maybe Ozzy like was talking shit to
Yeah.
him. Oh, I
Yeah.
have kids all over the place.
Yeah. Fuck you, Ozzy.
What do you have? Your family? Lame.
Yeah, stupid family. So yeah, basically, like all would-be revolutionaries, he has no real plan, and he gives up as soon as he gets some for himself. So
Susie, no, it's called. He has very set in stone radical ideas, and then he's given a little bit of information he didn't have before.
he didn't. I guess he didn't even. Well, I want to say he didn't verify, but then again, he did bury his daughter, so that's pretty good verification.
I
should-
guess.
Yeah, there was a
but
dead body.
Yeah, yeah. So
I like
so
where they're
he's-
just like, so what are you saying? What are you saying, Animal Man? Like, is the revolution over? He's like, I guess so.
I don't know. I have to go now. I'll pick this up later.
Yeah.
And so he attempts to fly away, and then he is shot with a variety of stunning rays and guns.
Yeah, as he should.
Yeah, and then a lady from earlier in the run that I don't quite remember takes off her mask and says, "Hey, buddy, remember me?" And
I had your baby
And we all
as well.
say no.
yeah, they all had a baby. Yeah, we don't remember her.
Quick, harvest them for those abs.
Well, the first thing I'll ask is what do we all think of this?
This was fun. 10 stars.
That's pretty funny. Shée, what'd you think of this?
Also fun. Good pick. Happy birthday.
Yeah,
Birthday.
Happy birthday,
Born
Born
too
Too
late.
I really enjoyed it as well. I like this whole run. I'll give it a solid 4 out of 5. Critters scurrying up buttholes. They are quick. They are quick.
Get
They will
stuck
get
in the mud. Those
What I
bugs.
want, yeah. What? Oh wait, I got from.
Oh.
What I did want to say though after this, so Delano's run went on for a bit longer, and then there was another 10 or so issues after Delano was done. But Delano's run ended in a pretty crazy way because as this progressed, Animal Man's followers grew and became more of a hippie cult commune thing that just got bigger and bigger and started just kind of like traveling the country, going town to town, threatening to kill anyone that doesn't join the cult, and succeeding basically at this. This is how you know there was no Superman, there was no Batman in this world. And it gets pretty nuts. And basically the climax, I got two parts of the last issue of Delano's run that I'll show you. One, Animal Man goes ahead and holds a cult orgy sacrifice of himself. So here's the double page spread of this. So as you can see, we'll have this up on the video on YouTube and Spotify, and you see this. The birds are ripping him apart, flying around. They're raining his blood and entrails over a mega orgy, as you can see at the last panel there. And yeah, he just sacrificed himself for reasons I don't remember, and became a martyr. And everyone had a giant hippie sex orgy, right?
Okay.
And then the final panels of the run consist of Annie and Buddy's wife stripping down and getting into a hot tub with Annie's elderly mom. Here you go.
What
Look
the
at this.
fuck?
Okay, good
this
ending.
is how it ended. This is how it ended. They get naked. They get in a hot tub.
They're happy that Buddy killed himself.
They found some peace. They found some peace with this whole thing. And I think, there's a lot about their personal journeys, and they came to a point where they could understand each other and respect each other. And there they go. It's out there, man. It is a crazy run. And the end. And then there were another like 10 episodes or 10 issues.
So they're just sister wives at the end of this?
I think they found, well, I mean, there is a connection there that is not, I'm not necessarily saying it's a good or bad connection. I don't know what it's like to be a woman in that kind of situation. But they found a connection between themselves. And I mean, listen, their entire lives are insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not the
Yeah.
craziest
Who else?
thing to
Who
think
else
they
are you gonna
bond.
relate? Who else are you gonna relate to?
Yeah, this is how you
Where'd
bond.
the sun go?
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't need no sun. They turned it down finally.
he got replaced by Steve Urkel, so he could have more screen time.
I wish I was connected to the green. They're so zen about death.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, yeah, things die. Who cares?
That's how I am about death, though.
I wish I was that way about it. Okay. Well, thank you, Born Too Late. Happy birthday,
happy
Born
birthday.
Too Late. This was a great start to Halloween. We're going to do another one. I think it's time to look at what we're going to talk about next time.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, as always, we do need to spin the wheel. And as always, I don't like this bit. So we've been doing this thing from time to time where we want to give people a request, a freebie, but we got to throw something on the wheel to make it unpleasant. And so the other request that we got is from Hermer Firmer.
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted, let's see here,
he
giant
wanted-
size man thing.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
So that's right. Hermer Firmer on the record as begging for giant size man thing for his birthday. That's just a fact. Here's the cover of that. That looks fun.
Mhm. Lots of gooiness from the
I believe-
giant-sized man thing.
This is Steve Gerber.
68 big pages.
68 big pages.
Oh no!
It's Back from the Dead. The Glob Strikes Again. Like this is a great Halloween book, though. It's a lot of pages. It's a lot of fucking pages. It is giant sized. I mean,
It is.
Gotta
Gotta do some stretches before we take on this giant-sized man
do our
thing.
first
Yeah,
do our
do some
first
kegels.
two-parter.
No, because after that we have to deal with this whole election thing.
Oh, we've done 160-page Batman books.
Yeah, with 1,000 stories inside. No,
Yeah.
this will be fine. A lot of it's probably going to be punching and grabbing man things, snorkel, penis nose thing.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Gerber, classic Steve Gerber. He knew what he was doing. But of course, we got to spin the wheel. People go nuts if we don't spin the wheel. So on this wheel, we've got 18 instances of giant-sized man thing, and then we have 2 instances of Heathcliff's Funhouse number 5.
Oh,
2.
Which is
no.
well, just so that it looks better on the wheel, so that there's one at every 180 degrees on the wheel. This is a garbage book from Star Comics in the year 1990 or something like that. It is a Halloween issue, Madcap Fun as Heathcliff the cat, the sub Garfield. He's sub Garfield level cat. He's having a good time carving a jack-o'-lantern. He's put some dentures in the jack-o'-lantern, and it's going to go on that way for 20-something pages. So we don't want that.
No, we don't.
We don't want that, but
Not
we
at
really
all.
have little say in this. We have little input in this.
Oh,
So-
God, please.
We've done this a few times. It's never come up on the dud. If it does come up, I guess we got to do what we got to do.
Yeah, we gotta
but
do what we gotta do.
We will put Giant Size Man Thing back on the list so it can still pop up, but it won't be for Halloween. And what a way to end Halloween. So we always got to listen to a little spinning music. And speaking of Born Too Late, really the star of this episode, honestly. Born Too Late's spinning playlist, brings us Cynic, Wheels Within Wheels.
Oh,
and
sweet.
I actually didn't know this band. I actually really like this song. I'm gonna
Oh,
play
Cynic's
it.
great. They're a
This
great
is
band.
actually pretty good. I wasn't sure if you would like it or not because even though it is metal,
Oh, no, they
it's-
were like a death metal band that became a hippie prog group.
Yeah, it's kind of proggy, doom, goth, kind of My Bloody Valentine-ish. This is a blurb I found out. Cynic is one of the only death metal-inspired bands to have openly gay members. Paul Masvidal and Sean Reinert came out as gay in May of 2014, a move that was broadly supported by the heavy metal community, which is a fact that I would probably dispute.
What
I
about
don't know that
what about Rob Halford?
It says death metal inspired.
Oh, it's very specific. All right.
Where Priest is more just like hard rock, I would say. You know?
All right,
Yeah.
whatever.
So I don't know that I necessarily believe that the heavy metal community was super embracing of that.
No, the heavy metal community doesn't care about anything.
That is true. Yeah. All right.
You're
maybe.
thinking of the Five Finger Death Punch guys.
Oh yeah, those guys are no good. All right. So this clip's a little longer because it's a slower song, but I also just like it, so I'm letting it play the full course. So this is Cynic, Wheels Within Wheels. Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, Cynic's great.
That was good.
Yeah.
And gave me a moment to drink my Coca-Cola too. Brought my teeth. Yeah, that was really good. Thanks for that, Born Too Late. So, all right, I think we're ready. Gonna spin this wheel.
Spin
Fuck the
it.
duck. Here we go. Oh, get Nancy.
Come
Get
on.
Nancy.
Come on.
Don't do. Oh, okay. I think we're okay. Okay. All right. There we go. We're in the
Well,
clear.
That took forever.
It really took a while to slow down. It was not entirely sold on this Giant Size Man thing.
Not entirely sold. I don't know
Your
why-
Honor.
I don't know why I thought that's how you were saying it.
Turned into a Southern lawyer. I say. So yeah, it's gonna be
All right.
Giant Size Man thing.
Yeah, finally.
Thank Christ. Yeah, we've
Finally.
been
It's
looking
been
at this
on
for
the
a
wheel
while.
for a long time.
It's been on there for a while. It hasn't come off. It means we can also take it off the normal wheel, which is great.
Yep. One
Open up
more.
some slots in there. Yeah. So
Use
yeah,
the
that's-
giant size man thing to open up some slots.
Wow, that actually worked. I like that. I like that very much. Yeah, this looks. I honestly, this is one of those books that I have heard about all my life. I've never read it. It's probably pretty damn good. It's Steve Gerber, I believe, wrote all of it. I think maybe I could be wrong on that, but I thought so.
Okay.
And it's just, we've looked at a lot of Gerber. We've looked at Gerber's She-Hulk. We've looked at a few other things. That famously created Howard the Duck, all that fun stuff. So I think this is going to be a great way to end Asktober. With our most Halloween-y episode of all. And so, yeah, normally when we do a bunch of Halloween books, they're mostly shitty books. So we might have two legitimately good, spooky Halloween books.
Yeah.
What do you know? All right. That's coming up next time. Shée, why don't you plug us up? Why don't you plug up our butts?
I follow Darkside's Couch on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Discord, and YouTube. And then on YouTube and on Twitch, you can see our episodes as well.
And Spotify.
Oh, and Spotify. I keep forgetting that Spotify does that now. Mm-hmm. And Spotify.
It usually takes me a minute because I'm dealing with the whole thing, but it gets up there. Sometimes it takes a couple hours after it uploads, but it's on there. It will be on there. Get off my nuts.
No one's on your nuts.
And
No
then
one is on your
follow-
nuts.
They're not.
And then follow Santa Hules on Twitch to see Mike do stuff.
Yeah, and follow Mike in real life.
Yeah, I don't care.
Freak him out. Keep him on his toes.
You're not gonna freak me out. It's fine.
I've been followed by the best.
I don't
Not to
give a
brag
shit.
here.
I
I've
don't
been followed by
care.
some pretty horrific things.
Whatever. I got a hatchet. Come get me.
Yeah, he is an original Juggalo. He goes way back. He's got the Juggalo, the official Shaggy 2 Dope branded hatchet.
Back when they were still using hard F slurs.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Before they claimed that they were Christians this whole time.
Before the Insane Clown Posse went woke.
Too woke. I believe the two members of Insane Clown Posse are currently the Republican and Democratic nominees for president, though.
Thank God, finally.
It's been a roller coaster. I think it's Shaggy 2 Dope versus the other one. What's the other one's name?
I don't know.
Some
We're gonna
Jay?
find out. We're gonna find out how magnets work.
Yes. That's the main. Violent J. Yeah. Thank you, Shée. Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope. Those are your two choices in this election season. Don't blame me. I voted for Shaggy 2 Dope. I think that's it. Anybody get any final thoughts before we get out of here?
I can't wait to vote for Shaggy 2 Dope. That'd be my choice because it's just too dope.
He's too dope to lose. Shée?
Free COVID test opened up back through the United States Postal Service, so I'm going to be everybody's mom and say, go get your tests.
Yeah, just for fun.
Who's paying for that though, huh?
Get an STI test while you're out there too. Just get the whole battery of tests.
Don't get one of those at the post office, though.
Oh, that's where I've been getting them.
That wasn't a doctor. Ta-ta for now, Cushion Crusaders. We'll talk to you next time on the couch.
It came from the third dimension with its own brain, its own voice, its own legs. There's only one problem.
That red light is burning my brain.
Virtual Boy. See it now in 3D.